Hey guys, alright, we are back with some salmonella reaction, as this is the salmonella reaction channel, the best one on YouTube. Anyways, this is Daniel Dancer, history's biggest cheapskate. Now, I have watched some TLC or whatever that channel is called, and so I've seen some pretty big cheapskates. Let's see truly how Daniel Dancer is the biggest in history. Tell me, Salmonella, teach me. I always forget how fucking loud his
Hey kids,
theme
you're
is.
probably familiar with at least a few characters whose obsessive penny pinching truly knows no bounds. Yes, from Ebenezer Scrooge to Scrooge McDuck, nobody hoards money quite like misers. But these guys aren't the most miserly misers out there, not by a long shot. First of all, look at their top hats, their extravagant use of glasses,
Very true.
their luxurious chairs.
Yes.
These things are worth their weight in precious shekels. No true miser would waste their wealth on such frills. Second of all, these guys aren't real. They're fictional characters. Scrooge McDuck does not exist. I don't care what CNN says. It's all liberal conspiracy bullshit.
Give me a moment. Oh, I fucking love you, Salmonella.
I mean, look at this article by the Huffington Post. You mean to tell me that this picture isn't photoshopped? Ridiculous. But you know who was real? One Daniel Dancer of London, England. Born in 1716,
Of course, London.
Daniel's father died at a young age, leaving behind a large agricultural estate for Daniel to oversee. When it was first inherited, the property brought in a few £100s a year, which doesn't sound like much today, but given that a general laborer could be expected to make around £19 per year in 1710, it's safe to say that Dancer could afford to live a fairly lavish lifestyle off his passive income alone. But Dan was like, you know, all this food and clothing and stuff is alright, but you know what I really like? Owning money. Say, how much does a pound cost? Well, that's a complicated question, Daniel. Can currency really be said to have intrinsic value? Some economists believe that. TLDR, please. They cost a pound. Jesus, that's a lot. I better start saving. Thus began one of the most intentionally frugal lifestyles
Economy is very complex. Quick economic lesson here. If you have one banana, monkey have one banana, and no one else have banana. One banana, expensive. One banana, special. Let's say you monkey go and find a bunch more banana. Now one banana ain't so worth it. Now there's a bunch of banana. Bunch of bananas can be traded for cheaper things now. Now you can buy a banana for cheaper. More access to banana for all monkey, not just one monkey. That's economy, kinda. A little bit, not really. Trying to talk broad about economy is like pretty much talking about talking economics broadly is kind of like talking about certain historical topics broadly. You can't really do that justice in order to get a good understanding, right? There are some things in history that you need to spend time on, just like talking about economics. You need to spend time to talk about. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up and let's get back to the cheapskate.
Let me walk you through a few of Dancer's day-to-day habits. First of all, soap, don't even think about it.
Yeah,
The
no.
closest thing to bathing that Daniel did was during the summer months when, once or twice a week, he'd wade into the nearby pond and scrub his face with a handful of sand. Say what you will, but what he lacked in deodorization, he certainly made up for in exfoliation.
What the fuck?
Admittedly, all of London probably reeked to high hell back then, so while Daniel's smell might not have tipped people off to his eccentricity, his clothes almost certainly did.
Yeah.
On a good day, he'd be seen in one of his coats,
Fashionable.
which were homemade patchwork
He's
abominations
slaying.
of various garments
That's a
that
model
Dancer
right
found
there.
on the streets and
Supermodel.
local dust heaps, looking like a walking dementia patient sewing circle. Similarly, all his shoes were either scavenged or Frankensteined out of other pairs of shoes he already owned, with the whole ensemble being barely held together with haphazardly tied bands made of the hay grown on his estate. In fact, a lot of the time, he ditched normal clothes altogether and just wear the hay.
Oh,
to his credit,
nice.
in his youth, Daniel was known to purchase a whole 2 shirts per year as his clothing expense, but one day he looked in the mirror and said, "Daniel, you're bleeding funds like a stuck pig." big. It's time to grow up and get your act together. And cut his budget to only one shirt per year. One of the few people that Daniel associated with regularly was his sister, whom he lived with. Believe it or not, she shared in a lot of Daniel's tight-fisted habits, and it definitely showed. She was described as, quote, having more the appearance of a walking dunghill than one of the fair sex. Couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. Dancer prepared all of his food for the upcoming week ahead of time, consisting of only 14 hard dumplings and 3 pounds of beef stretched out over the entire 7-day period. Every day, he'd eat only a single meal that was basically equivalent to 2 wads of dried out dough and 1.5 quarter-pounder patties from McDonald's. He kept this habit up for years without fail, except for one time when he stumbled upon a fully intact, rotting sheep carcass during his daily stroll. He was like, good lord, this is just obscene. Who would leave a perfectly good pile of arguably edible meat and organs just sitting around like this? So he dragged the thing home and made him and his sister a nice big pile of spoiled mutton pies, which they subsisted off of for several weeks. That's a real life hack right there. Who needs refrigeration if it's already rancid, am I right? Despite Daniel's rabid fear of any
how did he not die of
spending,
poisoning?
he did own a dog named Bob that he was quite fond of. At this point,
Bob.
I'm almost certain that Dancer just decided to base his entire life off of linoleum by no effects, which is pretty incredible considering linoleum wasn't even invented for another 100 years. Anyway though, one day, Daniel's neighbor came to complain about how Bob had been harassing his sheep. So Daniel said, don't worry boy, I ain't gonna kill you, but we don't want a lawsuit on our hands, do we? No we don't. What would we do if a lawyer came around here, huh? That's right, and make his children watch, yeah. So he decided to take the dog to the local farrier, which is basically a blacksmith that specializes in horseshoes and the like. Hey, could you make my dog, like, not have teeth anymore? What kind of business you think I'm running here, boy?
No!
Come on, man, you file down horses' hooves for a living. Teeth are just tiny mouth hooves.
No!
That's close. Sorry, buddy, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Well, got me there. Say, what's a hand grenade? None of my sources say what happened to the dog after his untimely nubbening, but I do know Dan never got sued, so I guess the operation was a success.
No.
Daniel's sister passed away in 1766, leaving him so distraught that he actually went out of his way to buy mourning clothes for her funeral. And by that I mean he bought a pair of secondhand black stockings, and that's it. Still, that's a big deal when it comes to the likes of Dancer. At this point, the only person close to a friend that Dancer had was a woman known as Lady Tempest. She was so influential over him that she was actually able to convince him to buy, get this, a 1-shilling hat.
Ooh,
this was quite an accomplishment,
damn.
as Daniel's last hat
Fancy.
was older than half of you at 14 years old.
What? I'm not. You don't.
Meow.
You.
Of course, the next time Lady
Salmonella has problems. Maybe the reason he hasn't uploaded in so long is because he's... I don't want Salmonella to come out of the shadows and kill me. Maybe he's in a mental hospital. Maybe he's getting help, psychiatric treatment. Who knows? Oh God, he's coming.
Tempest went to hang out with him, he was still wearing his old disgusting hat. When questioned about the one he bought, he goes, oh yeah, that frilly old thing. Sold it for a 6-pence profit. Super easy too. I tell you, forget house flipping. Hat flipping is going to be the cool new thing pretty soon. Lo and behold, 250 years later, he was wrong.
Extra audio of the car that parked outside my...
Daniel died at the ripe old age of 78, which seems pretty shocking considering the whole not using soap, eating rotten food thing.
what?
But I guess his near total isolation from other people made up for that when it came to preventing illness.
True.
Though he never ended up shelling out any of the massive hoard of wealth that he accumulated over this time, his efforts weren't completely in vain. By the time he passed away, Daniel's estate was now pulling in about £3,000 in yearly net revenue.
Damn.
10 times the amount it earned when he first inherited it. So, moral of the story, parsimony has its place. While it's good to save money, don't torture yourself just for the sake of a few bucks. Next time your parent or significant other insists on turning down the thermostat or keeping the windows up to save gas, just say, hey, are we human or are we Dancer? But you know what else is more valuable than money?
Knowledge.
That's what
Oh my God. Yeah, and it goes into his ad spot, Skillshare, and as I've said before, the ad spots don't have history in them, so don't react to them, but I watch them when I finish recording to give the content creator watch time, of course, because I am a decent human being. I see you guys clicking off the fucking videos. I know when you guys click. It's okay, it doesn't hurt my feelings. Kinda. Anyways, god damn, that guy was cheap. How is that enough calories to live off of? And it wasn't a variety of the calories of the food you need. Did he only drink water too? Like he should have had like deficiencies in certain things. I feel like not eating fruits or vegetables. He's just eating bread and meat. That carbs and protein. Of course, there's other things in the bread and the meat besides protein and carbs. Of course, there's other vitamins and stuff, other healthy things in it. But still, you need more variety in your meals. I don't know what else to say, except yeah, salmonella has problems. I'm looking at you, Sam. I'm looking at you. You have problems, sir. You have problems. Anyways, that was the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.